Hey kiddos, it's Mr. Woods. Turns out the Google Meet wasn't recording my stuff today. Well, it recorded my video, but it didn't record my audio, and evidently it did the same thing yesterday, so I need to adjust my settings and figure some things out. But I came out here to nature to record, basically just go back over the stuff that we went over in Google Meet today, just in case someone wasn't listening or someone wants to see it again. I think it's really important stuff. So it's worth me making another real quick video over, and it won't take me nearly as long to explain it to the camera as it would to explain it to you kiddos while I had you in the Google Meet. It's I'll try to keep it less rambly than I did before, but when you're in my class, whether it's virtually in the virtual space in the Google Meet, or whether we're meeting together in the physical space after the 6 weeks or however long it takes us to get back into the building, I want you to know that it's not just my classroom. It's not just Mr. Woods' room. It's your room, it's your classmates' room, it's our classroom. This is our social studies class. We're not just taking a class, we're building a community. It's a learning community. And there are 4 things that I want you to remember that are going to be paramount. They're going to be very important for us to keep in mind as we're trying to build that community. These 4 things are true about you, they're true about me, they're true about anybody who comes through that door, whether it's a virtual door into the Google Meet or whether it's the physical door into the classroom. These 4 things are true for every single person in the social studies classroom, in the every single Porpoise. This is true. And those 4 things are that you're welcome in that classroom. You are valid in that classroom. You are valued in that classroom. And inside and outside of that classroom, as part of rugby, as a part of the Porpoise team, as a student in my charge, as an individual, as a human being, I want you to know that you are important. You are important. So, from the top, one more time, I want you to hear it. You are welcome. You are valid. Your ideas, your thoughts, your dreams, your hopes, every single one of those are valid. You're valued, and you're important. Everybody has a place in my classroom. Once again I say my classroom, but it's really not my classroom at all. It's the space that has been assigned to me to teach in. But honestly, it's our classroom. And if we're going to build up a culture that's going to allow every single person to feel welcome, it's going to take all of us, not just me, and not just you, but it's going to take the entire Porpoise team working together and remembering that every single person is welcome, valid, valued, and important. With most of the classes, I made it through my expectations. Second core, you guys got a little bit further. You kiddos made it all the way up to some of the content that we're going to be talking about. So, I'm just going to cover my expectations for the class, and then I'll end this video. We might end up making another video tomorrow if Google Meet for some reason doesn't record my audio again. So that's this slide that looks like this with the colored pencils on it. So my expectations extend to every single person that comes in the classroom, and they apply universally. It's not just for the students. These expectations apply to me. They apply to any guests that come in. If Mr. Moore steps into the Google Meet, if Mr. Moore steps into the physical classroom, I have these expectations of him. These are the class expectations. I expect this of you. I expect this of me. I expect this of everybody. These apply universally. If we're building up a class culture where everybody's welcome, everybody's valid, everybody's valued, and everybody's important, these are the expectations that I'm going to have of every single person. And they're pretty simple. There's only 3 of them. And that's be present, be respectful and kind, and do your best. Let's unpack that a little bit. What does it mean to be present? That doesn't just mean that you're physically in the room or on the Google Meet. If you're present in the moment, you're with us. You're focused. You're paying attention. I know that's hard sometimes. It's hard to be in the present moment completely and totally and giving 100% of yourself to the present moment. Sometimes that's hard because we let thoughts about the future sneak in. We worry about what we did in the past or things like that. But in order for this to work, we have to be 100% present in the present moment, focused on what we're doing, focused on what Mr. Woods is talking about, focused on the directions. We need to be present in the present moment, listening, working, doing our social studies best in the present moment. I wonder how many times I just said in the present moment. Probably less than 15. Go back and count them and let me know. So, next up, being respectful and kind. Those 2 things sounds like they're 2 separate things, but I feel like they should go together. Being respectful and being kind. Being respectful is one of those favorite expectations that all teachers have. We want you to be respectful. And I'm going to give you that respect as a teacher to a student. I expect you to give me that respect back from a student back to a teacher, but not necessarily because I'm the adult and you're the kid, and I'm the expert and you're the learner. That's not the reason why I expect you to give me that respect. One of the things that we're going to talk about this year is the Enlightenment. And in the Enlightenment thinkers determined that just from being born a human being, we have been given certain, and you might be familiar with this language, certain inalienable rights. And I feel like one of our inalienable rights that we should, extend to one another in the classroom is that respect. You might have heard the expression, you've got to give it to get it. And that is absolutely true. And if you're one of those folks who feels like maybe you haven't gotten a lot of respect, maybe this year, try giving it first and see if you don't get more of it in return. That's one of the things that I'm definitely going to be trying. Respect is a two-way street. I'm going to be giving as much of my respect to you kiddos as possible. I would like you to try your best to give it back to me, which we didn't talk a lot about kindness, but I feel like if you're being respectful, kindness is kind of like the trailer that gets pulled behind the truck of respect. So if you're being respectful, kindness comes along with that. And, we'll talk more about that as we go along this year. I'm already 12 minutes into a video here, so I want to mosey it on over. And we got one more dot to talk about, and that's doing your best. That's all I can ask of you. And I will be so proud of you if I know that you're doing your absolute level best. I can't reach through the computer and prod you along. I can't come to you in those moments when I know that maybe you're not working as hard as you should be, like I could if you were sitting in the classroom. It's going to take you and a lot of your maturity. We're asking you to grow up a little bit quicker with this virtual stuff than maybe generations in the past have had to grow up. But I think that the benefits that you folks are going to experience because of this are going to be worth it. I think this generation, having gone through this experience together and trying your hardest and doing your best, there's going to be a lot of major benefits that we're not going to be able to really feel the effects of until 5 or 10 or 15 or maybe even 20 years down the road, until maybe you are in the position that I'm in, talking to a camera or whatever piece of technology we have at this point, until you're in my shoes. But if you try your best in everything that you do, whether it's this virtual school, whether it's social studies, or just anything, if you're doing your best, then Mr. Woods is going to be proud of you. And you're going to be creating the type of school culture here on the Porpoise team and at rugby that we really want to have. And I'm terrible at ending videos, but I really want you to think about the type of classroom you want to walk into, you want to be a part of. That's the type of classroom that we're building here on the Porpoise team. And it's going to take every single one of us doing our absolute best to make it happen. That includes not just you, the students. I'm going to do my part as well. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to be respectful and kind. And I'm going to be present. Don't forget, you are welcome, you are valid, you are valued, and you are important. And I'm very much looking forward to being your social studies teacher this year. And we're going to learn about a lot of really cool stuff. And tomorrow's lesson is all about talking to you guys, you kiddos, about what those things are going to be that we're going to be learning about this year. So hopefully all of my audio and video and all of that works on this video, and we'll see you tomorrow.